Hi, my name's Lynda Kenny, and in today's video I want to talk about escaping the comparison trap, something that we're all guilty of. If you read my blog post today, I go into a lot more detail, but basically it can affect each and every one of us, particularly now since the use of social media, and where we see a lot of followers, people getting a lot of followers, a lot of likes, a lot of engagement. And it can almost seem that anyone who has a ton more than you is more worthy than you are. So I want to give you some tips today on how to actually avoid that comparison trap that we all experience in life. And it is normal for us to experience comparing ourselves with other people. We start very young, actually, when we're in school. We start comparing ourselves to fellow pupils and that they look smarter or better than we do, or they perform better in class than we do, or they get more marks than we do. And before you know it, we start dragging ourselves down and we feel really crap about who we are. So it's really important that you actually acknowledge that comparing yourself to other people is normal, but also how you can actually combat that so it doesn't drag you down, doesn't make you feel depressed, and actually, if you're in business, doesn't hold you back. Because when you see someone in business who's doing extremely well, and you think to yourself, I'll never be as good as them, or I'll never be able to be as successful as that, then what that will do is halt you in your tracks and you won't go further. You'll just hold yourself back all the time. So let me give you a few tips on how you can actually overcome that. So first of all, in terms of social media, I would limit yourself how much you're on it and how much you're scrolling down, because you can look at everybody's posts and everybody feels like they're doing much better than you. They've got a more fabulous life than you have. And it's very easy to get dragged into that false world in a way, because quite often people will put on social media what they want you to see, but they don't show everything. And every one of us has a darker side, if you like, to what we put out there. So spend a little less time on there. But when you are on there, make relationships and create those kind of relationships that you would create offline as well as online. Those that give you value, those that you appreciate. And rather than comparing yourself all the time in a negative way, practice comparing yourself in an upward way. So if you have to compare yourself to someone who's just a little bit above you and not someone who's a top earner or a top leader, and their position, if you like, feels out of reach to you. Just look at the people that's closer to you in achievements. Be thankful for the blessings you've got in your life. You focus on the good things instead of what you lack. And you have a lot more in your life than you know. And be thankful for that. And know that you are good enough. And if you have to really compare yourself to, compare to yourself. So if you've got your own goals, then celebrate your own achievements. And if you haven't done as well as you hoped you'd do, then you can work on doing it better next time. I want to give you a quote by someone called Ravi Chandra, who I found this quote in an article that I read in Psychology Today. And he says, instead of generating envy, which is a form of hostility, explore what you admire and appreciate about other people and cultivate joy for their success. It can actually be a catalyst for your own personal growth. Now, isn't that more important? If you're using social media to build your business, it is too easy to compare yourself with people that are doing better than you. And what you don't want is to drag yourself down and deflate yourself. So working on your confidence and your self-esteem and your mindset, you'll become less affected by other people. What you will do is concentrate on your own development, and you'll use comparisons more and more with yourself and how this month or this day you're doing better than the last one. My coach used the word comparitis a lot because it's something you should be aware of. You might be prevented, for instance, for doing live videos on Facebook because you're worried what others might think. You might think you don't look as good as someone else. If you've got a strong inner self, those things won't matter. You'll be as proud of who you are and not afraid to share yourself across social media. So my final word on this is to be happy with who you are. Now, if you want to build your self-esteem and your confidence, I have an online course called Worthy of Wealth, and you can access that by going to youareworthyofwealth.com, and that will give you details of the course. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as I said, be happy with who you are.